Okay, so like what's the goal? 15? Is 15 a good number?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's actually pretty high, actually, probably. When you get there and if you're full blown.
Or maybe I'll just row my last 30 calories so slow.
You just finish the overhead squats and get one muscle.
Not even one. Just the final overhead squat and it beeps right when you finish it. Sign of a true athlete.
True athlete.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking all about transitions and how important they are in a workout. It can't be overstated enough that transitions and transitioning between movements are very important. So we're going to talk about that today and also watch a workout today where they become very important. All right, so without further ado, we are off in 3, 2, 1.5, getting it. What are we doing here? First of all, this workout is a 7-minute time cap. So actually, it's kind of like a 7-minute AMRAP time cap kind of mix, but it's gonna be a really short time domain. We've got ourselves 3 rounds of a 30-calorie row and 15 overhead squats at 115. And then after you accomplish those 3 rounds with time remaining in the 7 minutes, you're gonna be doing as many muscle ups as humanly possible, or as possible for yourself. Anyway, so why are transitions key is a good question that we're gonna be going over in this workout, because transition between these movements are gonna be very key, right? So 3 rounds of a 30-calorie row and a 115 overhead squat doesn't leave you a whole lot of time in the 7 minutes. I mean, if you do the math on top of your head, you gotta figure if you're rowing at a conservative pace for a male, 30 calories usually takes you 90 seconds. So then if you have to transition off the rower, get the overhead squat over, knock out 15 overhead squats of 115, and then transition back to the rower, you're looking at probably 2 minutes per round or over. And then you have to factor in degradation and getting a little slower every round. And then by the time you get to the 3rd round and finish the 3rd round, you may not have a whole lot of time left for the muscle ups. So what's really important in this workout and other workouts that I want to discuss is the idea of transitions. And that's the idea of getting back to the bar, getting it overhead, and getting right into it and then moving forward. So one difference you're going to see between Andrew and myself, where I'm on the left and Andrew's on the right, is the transition from the rower to the overhead squat. And that takes up a lot of time. So if you're able to, in this workout, if you're able to snatch it and kind of keep it a close grip, it'll save you a lot of time. And then transitioning back. So like if you notice there now, I think our overhead squats are going to be probably similar speed, but you already notice I've already gained about 8 to 10 seconds on Andrew the first round just because of the transition in the movement. And so that's important, I think, in any movement or any workout that we really talk about, is a lot of people will focus on, okay, I need to row hard in this workout, or I need to do my wall balls fast, or I need to do my burpees fast, or I need to do this movement fast per se. But what they kind of overlook is the idea of moving between movements. And now I'm the #1 person that has been committed this crime where I'll get done with the movement and transition the next one. I'll take my jolly good sweet time, chalking up or taking a drink of water or whatever the case may be. And so I'm the #1 person that's committed that crime. Don't worry about it. But then again, we're trying to fix that. And so it's important for me to see, okay, I have committed that crime and not transition fast. And now we're trying to switch that over and transition quickly between movements, really focus on that. And so what Andrew's goal for me in this workout was really the idea of transitioning. It wasn't a transition between movements in this 3-rounder, although that was important. But what he really wanted me to do was transition between the overhead squats to the muscle ups quickly. And you'll see that near the end that I probably wasn't able to do that as well as I should have. And so we're still going to focus on that. So we're entering the overhead squats of round 2. And as you notice, one funny thing, if you notice this, is the fact that Andrew actually caught up on the rower. He rows. He's a good rower, and that's one thing that we're trying to work on this season, is my ability to hold a high percentage on the row and can continue to keep going at the high percentage. I've been known in the past to really drop off on a row, as I've talked about in previous videos, so we're trying to really fix that currently. All right, so we're entering our final round. So if I got on the row at 350, let's see what Andrew does here. We should be getting there quick. So by the time he starts rowing, we're talking like 4:05. So he's about 15 seconds behind me. So I'm curious to see how far behind he is of me at the end of this row, because I'm sure it's going to be probably closer to 7 to 8 seconds. He'll probably drop off 7 to 8 seconds on the row because he rows so well. And one thing you'll notice, which I've talked about in previous videos for me, that we're trying to fix, is my lockout of the row. So if you notice, Andrew has a much smoother pull and a catch. And then where I am, if you look at my knees, they're not really fully locked out. They're kind of like I mentioned in previous videos, like an RDL lockout, like a soft lockout, where it's really not locking out at all. It's very soft knees. And so that tends to give me a much slower row and won't give me as much of a high cal per hour pace as opposed where Andrew is probably having a pretty high cal per hour pace on this row right here. I wish I could show you our screens. I think if I recall correctly, because I'm still walking around cleaning up for him, I think if I recall correctly, he's still at like a 1,300 cal per hour pace, where I think I dropped to like a 1,200. So a considerable difference. All right, so we have less than 2 minutes left. I should be closing up on near the end of this row. I think I get off like around like 5:30. We'll have to see when Andrew gets off and then kind of compare those row times. All right, so I'm off at about 5:22. See when Andrew gets off at. So 5:30. So you're right. So like I beat him to the row by 15 seconds, but he was only behind me at the end of the row by 8 seconds. So he saved a considerable amount of time on that row. All right, so we're transitioning back to our overhead squat. Now I realized that the transition between the third row and the overhead squat was pretty slow. Obviously, that's just going to happen with time because this workout's killing me. He's trying to murder me this week with rowing, I swear. All right, so we're done. I've got about a minute to do muscle-ups. Now, our goal for this workout was for me to chalk and get right to it. Of course, I'm taking a swig of water and taking my jolly good sweet time, which is not what we really wanted. So if you're looking at it right now, I believe I jump on the rings about 6:15, which gives me 45 seconds. And so I wasted about 16 to 17 seconds worth of muscle-up time. So you're looking at probably like the ability to get a couple more muscle-ups, like maybe 2 to 3 more muscle-ups. Now, like we talked about at the beginning of this video, we thought 15 would be a pretty good score, considering we thought you'd have about a minute of time left. We thought 15 would be pretty solid. And the only way to really get 15 is to, one, either go unbroken to 15, which is a lot considering how much you already did, or 2, get a really big set out of the way, rest a small amount of time, jump back up, and knock out another set, which is what I tried to do, but wasn't able to get to 15. I believe I got to 11 was my final score. I believe I got 8 and 3 to finish it out, and I believe Andrew got 5 and 1 or 6 and 1. Not exactly sure. Anyways, guys, if you're looking for scaling options for this workout, the reason the overhead squat weight was kind of low is because we wanted to move quickly. It was originally supposed to be at 135. We thought if it was at 135, you might have to drop it. We didn't want to have to drop the overhead squat during the final rounds. We wanted to push through it and have as much time on the rings as we possibly can. So if you're looking to scale it and you're a male, I would say maybe drop it to 95 pounds. It should be something that you know the first 2 rounds of overhead squats you can easily go unbroken. In the third round, it might be a stretch, but you can probably do it unbroken. For you females, probably like a 55, 75 pounds might be a pretty good weight for there. And the row cals for females, I'd probably say 22 to 25 calories. And then for you males, you should have at least probably 30 seconds on the muscle ups, 30 to 45 seconds on the muscle ups. So if you males just can't, if 30 calories is gonna take too long, then drop it again to like 25 calories. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.